you're a language junkie like me, you might be happy to jump at the chance to chat with a native speaker whenever an opportunity arises. But if you're feeling trapped in a scenario where communication with native English speakers is an inevitable part of your job and you are just learning, you might feel deep down extremely nervous when you have to interact with an English native speaker in a meeting, for example, or at a coffee machine. Even presuming that we recognise our fear of making a mistake or openly positioning ourselves as a learner in front of the person we're talking to, this recognition is often not simply enough to rid us of our shyness, and shyness is a type of fear after all. If you want to stop experiencing fear, I recommend you understand the deeper reason of this fear. The truth is that for most of us humans, language is the means of communicating information to each other, the primary means. We take the world around us for granted, thinking that whatever we say serves as a correct representation of the world around us. If a person looks at a tree and calls it a table, we treat that as inaccurate and weird because in our minds a table is a table and a tree is a tree. To name a more subtle difference, in our mother tongues we speak, we can make tiny distinctions between two words what we call synonyms. For example, in English there is quite a bit of distinction of meaning between taking the piss and taking a piss. And we can only feel that if we reach a very high level or cram in our vocabulary day and night. We think in our language, we speak our language, and quite obviously our sense of self is also based on the language. And language is a concept, and meaning is created by our mind. We give meaning to our interaction with natives, and we view it as a testing experience, and through that lens we watch how natives respond to us. If we're afraid they might think we're stupid, we shall scan their mimics, their utterances and their gestures for just that. Have you ever considered that what you call you, yourself, you, is generally a collection of concepts? One concept we like to have about ourselves is that we're intelligent. Deep down, most of us apparently doubt our sense of intelligence, but our culture values intelligence. Consequently, if one is not intelligent, they don't bear any value, and value is a social construct. The majority of us want to be accepted by people. Our social survival matters a lot. Nobody wants to be rejected. Obviously, for most of us, making a mistake equals undermining our sense of ourselves. If other people think of us as stupid because we're unable to express a message using language as our primary means of communication, that will undermine our social survival, and nobody on earth would want that. Can you see how deep this goes? It might sound like a very deep and abstract dive to you though, so if you're after practicality, here are some practical things and questions that you can ask yourself. What is it that you're trying to protect when you're facing a native speaker? Is it your image of a fluent English speaker? Your level of professionalism or specialist expertise? Your personal value? Your personal sense of intelligence? When you discover that primary sense that you want to protect, sit with it for a minute. Look it in the eye and put it down into your reflection journal. Often simply shedding the light of consciousness on the matter is enough to see it clearly for what it is and stop worrying about it. If you're looking for external confirmations, here is a story shared with me by my student who has spent most of her career working side by side with people from all countries, all walks of life. Once we were having a lesson and she said that speaking with native speakers is so crucial because when you actually do so, the fear of doing so wears off. The reason it is so is because her American colleagues she has been working with are so relaxed with their language that they don't seem to care much about their own mistakes or vocabulary or grammar choices. Just having a constant experience of interacting with Americans helped my students relax in the presence of American speakers. She also shared with me though that her European counterparts have always seemed to be more strict and highbrow with the language they used, that's for the Queen. As opposed to American native speakers, Europeans valued proper grammar and precise vocabulary, and the psychological pressure in communication with them was noticeably higher for my student. Do you communicate with natives much? What are the issues you run into when interacting with native speakers? Leave me a comment below and share this video with someone who might be shy about communicating with native English speakers but would really love to overcome this fear. Do subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friend, and come back, give me likes. And I don't really want to overload you with this kind of personal marketing stuff. So if you find the content useful, make sure you do subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.